My name is Juauqin. You guys all awake? Everybody awake? Nice. Afternoon, evening time, or afternoon time. You should all be awake by now, right? Right? Anybody go looking for a job yet? Anybody? Good. Anybody reconcile with their family members yet? Any family members reconciliation? Huh? Who just got out this last month? Huh? Long terms? A lot? Yeah? A little different out since you've been out? I'm gonna talk today about 4 things. I wrote this last night. It's been going through my head a lot this last week. I don't know why. But it's called destiny, direction, reality, and responsibility. And for the most part, my destiny, let's talk about destiny and what it really means. You know what I mean? Your destiny. Each and every one of us people are looking, what is my destiny? I'm sure you asked that question, right? You've been in the cell. I've been in the cell before. I did 3 terms, 2 N number terms and a V number term. So I've been there. I know what it is to, at the end of the day, to take off that mask from the yard and put it on the end of your bed and really ask yourself some questions. Like, what are you doing here? When is this going to stop? What happened to you? What are you not forgiving of yourself or from others to keep you in places like this? If you haven't asked those questions yet, then you have become comfortable where you are. And you might not be ready to change. They'll build another prison, they'll build another facility for you. And that's the absolute truth. Are they going to stop? No, it's not going to stop. Can I, right? Is this right or is this wrong? Have you guys, any of you guys asked those questions before? When is it going to stop? When is my madness going to end? My madness, I used to call it my madness. Now let me retract and tell you where I used to get my madness from. My family, when I was young, taught me violence. My dad is a raging alcoholic, still is to this day. Not a violent one no more, but in the beginning it was very violent. My mom and dad used to fight every weekend, on cue. So then it got worse and worse. My dad started raping my mom in front of us kids. My dad started just getting belligerent and started just beating her as soon as he got through the door. I woke up one time to my mom shooting at my dad with a .22 through the house. As I sat in my closet worried that one of the bullets were going to come through the wall. This is the type of thing that I dealt with as a young child. You might have a similar story. You might have. It might not be that bad. So what are you carrying on for your next generation? This is the question that I had to ask myself. What am I looking for in life? What am I making my destiny become? Is this my destiny? So I did 3 terms of prison. I'm like, man, is this my destiny? Why am I blaming my dad for all these things that I'm doing now? Why am I blaming that situation? It's time to blame myself. This is what I said. It's time to blame myself. Is this true or is this not true? Right? Because we can give that away. We can say, hey, you know what? Because they did this, because he did that, because when my mom and dad got a divorce, I wanted to go live with my dad, which my mom didn't like. And then my dad, he made me drink as like 5 years old. He started at 5 years old. And then he thought it was like, you're a man if you drink this. And we've probably put people in these situations, not necessarily your son, but another person, like, you gotta do this. You know what I mean? You can't hang with me because I'm too cool, you gotta do that. You know what I mean? And you put standards on people, and you create victims, So when I went to live with my mom, later on she started to hit me, and hit me worse than the rest of the kids, because I lived with my dad for a period. And she told me even one time as she was hitting me in my mouth that, you know what? You remind me so much of your dad. The way I laugh, the way I joke, the way I smile all the time, and I got beat for that. So I used that. I used that as something to like say, this is why I'm able to do this, or this is why I'm able to act like that. Throughout years to come. Years to come. And finally one day I looked in the mirror, I was in the hole in Chino, and I said, you know what? This ain't me no more. Look at it, they got you locked down like a monster. Like a monster. Are you a monster? Who thinks they're a monster here today? You think you're a monster?
Yeah.
You can change, bro. You can change. You're not a monster. You need to quit looking at yourself like that. That's not your destiny.
I'm a rap monster, excuse me.
Oh, a rap monster? You wrapping up presents? Oh, wrapping up presents? I gotta call you at Christmas time. So your destiny creates your direction. Because my destiny, I figured, my destiny was to become violent and not care what other people thought about me, or not do, not even take consideration of any morals or any principles that other people have for me. That was my destiny. And my destiny became my direction, which led me to prison. And that's when I had to come to reality. I came to reality. Like, how is this? What can I do? Is this my true destiny? Am I allowing the people around me to create my destiny for me? Or am I going to come out of this? Am I going to become another statistic? A statistic? As this a revolving door? Or is this going to be my home for, like, we see a bunch of old people on those yards. Oh, geez, they're just like, man, you're still doing it, huh? Man. Like 60, 70 years old, they're out there playing handball, working out still, trying to do it. And you're like, man, is this their retirement home? You know what I mean? Is this what and then reality hits and you say, is this what I'm going to become? You know what I mean? Is this my destiny? Is this the direction I'm moving in? Is this what I want for my life? How about for my next generation's life? How about for my young children's life? Do I want this for them? Or am I going to be free some other way? You got to find freedom. You got to find freedom. We all want to be free, right? When we're locked up, we all cry out freedom, right? But then when freedom comes, we don't know what to do with it. We didn't create a plan. We don't know what to do, so we just continue to do our old ways. Why? Because it's comfortable for us. Or why? Because we tried to do it another way, or we tried to do it a different way, but we say, man, you know what? It's failing too much. I feel like some more things and more things are just building up on me. I can't do this. You start to stress out. You have no relief. You have no way to turn. You have no one to turn to because you're a man, right? Or you got to do it yourself. No, there's people to help you. There's people to help you. And if you ain't letting yourself be helped, then you're full of pride. And your pride will kill you. And it'll break you down. And it'll put you in the cell by yourself for years and years to come. Like she was talking about, selling your head. And you won't know how to get out or what the key is. So the first thing I did is I took responsibility for my actions. As much as it hurt me, I took responsibility for my actions. As much as the thing I didn't want to say, my wife was sitting in the back there, but she could tell you. I used to tell myself about stuff like, man, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? But I would take responsibility. Say, I can't do this alone. I would always say, I can't see my own ears. You have to help me see my own ears. I don't know I'm acting like this. What man can see their own ears unless you put a mirror to it, right? But these relationships that we build with people, if you have a wife or girlfriend or even somebody who you look up to and they tell you you're acting the way that you're acting, they're not trying to fight with you, they're trying to help you. You're just not trying to accept their help. You're not trying to hear it from someone close to you. And you use that excuse, to go do other things, to continue our lifestyle. When it stopped now and today. Your pride, our pride. You see how our pride, who says they're prideful people, right? Prideful people, we all are. We all are to an extent. We would never caught a case. Very proud people. Man, I'm gonna get mine, I'm gonna get money. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. I'm gonna do this. And you do it, you got away with it one time. That's not the first time you've done it. You start to do it, you think you're invisible, you start to do other things and bigger things, and then pretty soon you end up in prison or jail. You're like, man, there goes another couple of years, right? None of you guys are doing life, but you guys left people behind that are doing life, right? People who are doing life out on yards. They give their left arm to be here, right here where you're sitting today. Maybe even a leg. Be in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives as long as they're out here. You got to live on. You got to take those things into consideration, because if you don't, it's those little things that you forgot about that'll bring you right back to the place where you don't want to be, which is prison or jail. Taking responsibility for your actions. Taking responsibility to say, hey, you know, it's going to hurt and it feels funny, but you know what? I'm going to take responsibility and I'm going to stand up and say, yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I apologize. To whoever it is you have to apologize to, even if it's to yourself in the mirror. If the people who are gone out of your lives, let them know, you know, and say, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did this to you. That's the hardest thing to say. Because once you say sorry to somebody, you know you have to live by what you say. That's what kind of characters we are. We live by what we say, right? Is that the only thing we got in this world? Is our word, right? Right? That's what got us into jail and prison, is our word. We did it. We're going to do something, and we did it, right? I used to get GTAs, I used to get robberies because I said, I'm going to go get a car tonight. And I go get a car. I'm going to go rob somebody, rob a store tonight. And I go rob a store. I go do those things. I'm going to go use a shot of heroin. And I go use a shot of heroin. And you know what I used to think bringing that up? My addiction was heroin. And you know what? Every time I used it, I used to say, you know what? At least I'm not like my dad, an alcoholic. What? That's worse to some extent, right? But it's the same. I'm the same person. Doing the same thing. Using addiction. Most of us caught our cases by a drug. Who caught their cases related by drugs or drugs? Raise your hands. Right? Most of the people. Most of the people in here. Or something happened because of drugs, behind drugs. Or somebody who else was on drugs and you were trying to take care of it or something. Whatever it was. Selling it, whatever it is. You got busted behind drugs, most of us. And that's the problem we have. That's the problem. And it's become an epidemic to our next generation. We need to stand up today and take responsibility of what we've made this next generation. We need to stand up today and take responsibility of what we've become and say, sorry, I apologize, I can't do it on my own. Because if not, they got places for us, man. I didn't like that heater in the wall bit over there in DVI on a cold, cold day. You know, I don't know if you're that type of person who does, but that heat on the wall just don't get it. You know what I mean? It just did not get it. And in the summertime, you're trying to fill up your cell, and people are just splashing around like it's a jacuzzi of the water that came out. You know what I mean? Break another one, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's all you hear all day, right? And by the winter time, everybody's trying to find newspaper or something to cover those holes up. And you're thinking, man, he shouldn't have broke another one, brother. You know what I mean? Shouldn't have did it, right? But we accepted that lifestyle. We knew those things were coming. We knew that we were gonna like what we eat. We knew that, you know, but we didn't consider. We didn't consider the facts. We didn't. At that moment, we said, I call it a bad case of the ethics. We got a bad case of the ethics. Ethic. It's not worth it anymore. Look what I built. You know, I go through, you may see a tie right here, somebody who dresses nice right now. I go through trials and tribulations still to this day. And these guys can say, where's Hernandez? I talk to Hernandez from time to time. I go through it, man. I go through it still. I go through not finding a job 10 years, 11 years later. You know, these things are on my record, but I just keep on driving on. I don't stop. It's like getting a nice car, buying it, and then just giving it away. Or getting a beautiful home with a beautiful family for years to come, and you just give it all away. No, you gotta keep on driving. You gotta keep on going. When it hurts, you gotta bandage those wounds. For us men, we are leaders of our house. We are leaders of our house. They will not know where to go unless without you. We got kids. For our women, they need their moms. These young men need their moms big time. But for most of us men, man, they need leadership bad out there. Tell me it's not true. Somebody tell me it's not true. You see it. You see it. And we're gone for years because of our selfishness. Because we had a bad case of the ethics. because we couldn't see past that day of hardship, or that week of hardship, or even that month of hardship. You gotta see past it, man. You gotta see past it. You gotta keep on going. You gotta keep on driving. You gotta get up and try again. You wipe yourself off and you try again. It's not the terms, or nobody's looking at you except yourself, right? You can see yourself. You know what you're thinking. You know when you see that person in the store, or you see that person passing by, and you say, "Hey, what's up?" And you say, "Oh, let me get your number." "No, I don't use no more, but let me get your number." And you're thinking, just in case this don't work out, I got this number right here. I got this number right here. And they're partying. So I know I can, kick it with them, and I know they'll give me something to get up off my feet. Don't take those numbers no more. Don't take those actions. Responsibility is about action. And once you become responsible, you can change your destiny. Your destiny. Only when you become responsible. I wrote this at the end. Responsibility is a hard one, because you must deny your selfish motives at first. Because we could be very selfish, right? We didn't commit the crime because we were really trying to help somebody but ourselves. We were really trying to help ourselves in some way, shape, or form. Second, it takes action to be responsible. It may take tears to do the right thing. It may be scary to tell the truth of what you have been holding all your life as an excuse to not take the responsibility. Yet your destiny of direction creates your reality of responsibility. You have a new beginning today. Haven't you waited enough time, or would you like to do more? I mean, we waited time, we wasted time. You know, one of the best things that I thought was, for my first term, the best thing that I didn't have to deal with who I was. You know, that's the best thing about doing time, is that you really don't have to take responsibility for what you've done. You're just like, I'm just gonna sit here, I'm gonna make sure I got some money on my books, get a little job. I'm just gonna sit here. I don't have to take responsibility for nothing. Forget those dudes, forget those victims, forget whatever I created. I can just chill right here. Oh, give me some time. Give me a little bit of time. I ain't tripping. But who likes that? Who likes that? Who does that? It's insanity. You have a new beginning today. Haven't you waited enough time, or would you like to do more? Your responsibilities are waiting, but it will take a shift of your perception to create a new destiny, to create a new direction, to allow your God-given reality to love your responsibility. You're supposed to love, I love my responsibilities now. I love it. I love my responsibilities. I do. I wake up every morning, and just think, I worked at Juauqin for the last 2.5 months. And everybody that around me knows. They say in the lunchroom, why do you come in, you're smiling every day? Just like nobody can take it away from you. I go, for one, yeah, you can't take that away from me. And for two, I'm working, and somebody just didn't get up this morning, but God gave me the ability to get up this morning. And I'm taking that chance. And I'm going forward with it. You see, you all got that ability today. You're walking, you're talking. Some of us should have been dead. Some of us were very close to death. But you got another chance. And your chance starts today, with a new destiny, a new direction, but it'll only take taking up your responsibilities for what you've done in the past and doing away with them. Just absolutely doing away with them. You don't have to think like that anymore. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. But renew your mind today. Take action. Be responsible. And I'll close on this. I'm like, oh man, I'm not going nowhere. I'll tell you a little story. There's a story that I usually tell. It goes like this. There was once a son who came to his dad. His dad was watching TV. And he said, Dad, I ain't got nothing to do. I need something to do. So his dad, looking around, he seen a magazine. He started flipping through it. And he seen a picture of the world. And he tore it out of the magazine. He tore it into little pieces. And he said, here you go, son. Go put that back together like a puzzle. Figured it'll take him like most of the afternoon. He went into his room. He put it back together. He came back out. He goes, look, Dad, I put the picture of the world back together. He goes, how'd you do that so quick, son? He said, see, if you turn the picture around, there's a picture of a man. You can put the man back together quicker than you can put the whole world back together.